Active FM. Radio has never been better.
What is up?
Hey, welcome to another awesome, exciting show.
Yes. Ryan, do you remember?
On Active FM, the movie show, your favorite ORS.
Who am I?
PS. My name is Ryan.
I honestly
And this is Sash. Welcome, Sash. And on today's show, we are talking about Memory. 2022 movie.
2022 movie. It is a movie. So if you want a very short plot line, or what's that log line? It's called a log line. It is about an assassin with Alzheimer's.
Yes, that's right.
It's actually a very brilliant concept.
Do you know that it's based on a 2003 movie?
Yes. It was about, I think that movie was a Belgian.
Based on the memory of a killer.
No, Bulgarian. No, I'm lying.
The memory of a killer.
Belgian, yes.
But it is, yes.
It's a Belgian film called The Memory of a Killer, yes.
I think, am I right? From what I picked up is that the name of the film translates into, because it didn't look like a movie that, unless it was just the name of the person that wrote the film or whatever. I just saw there was some language I couldn't read.
Oh yeah, it is a Belgian film. So I don't know if I haven't watched it.
Another language,
but yeah, it's very possible that it's not in English.
All I saw was Zagzigo.
But like, so when making a film, they'll often start off with a what if. So like they have a what if statements. So like, for example, what if the whole world got covered by water, and then you've got your film idea.
2022. 2012. 2012.
There we go. So with this one though, it's brilliant because it's like, what if an assassin got Alzheimer's? Do you understand? Like that's like, oh flip.
Can I ask a question? So in the film, he gets in the car. The first time you see him where he puts his key. The second time his key's here. What happened?
At first,
and then he basically flips out. He's like, oh, flip.
Yes. So how I understand this is, I could be completely wrong. So at first, I didn't know that he had Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
So at first,
you only picked it up later on.
And even, I must say, the start of the film is brilliant because, so you see, the spoiler alert, people.
I was just about to say, spoiler alert.
So you see Liam Neeson in a car and he's dressed as a nurse. And you're like, okay, cool, he's a doctor or whatever. Yeah. And he gets out his car and he's walking. And then you see these like rough looking dudes pitch up and you're like, hey, they're going to kill him. And all he's trying to do is save people's lives, And then like, you see the rough people go visit his mom. And then while he's like, they're visiting his mother, Liam Neeson's doing his duty and next minute kills the dude. And you're like, what? So like that whole... I personally thought Liam Neeson is a doctor and now they're going to try and attack him and, it's just going to be like all Liam Neeson on them. Yeah. Then he gets in the car and he freaks out a little bit with the car keys. And at first I was like, I'm so lost. What is? But then when they reveal that he has Alzheimer's, I was like, oh, he forgot where he put the keys, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that was like their beginning... like sign of this dude is losing his memory. And then obviously as the film progresses, you see he's taking tablets for Alzheimer's. Yeah. He writes down notes on his arm so that he can remember. Yeah. And then you pick up. And then he visits his brother who is in an old age home who has Alzheimer's. And then you're like, oh, wow. So yeah, what I personally enjoyed the film. It's a very a very heavy film. It's not like it's a Liam Neeson film, like Liam Neeson, that's what he's known for. But at the same time, I watched a lot of reviews on the film and in fact, I didn't see one review where they complimented the film. Like a lot of people actually just said they either were on the whole tip of, Liam Neeson. If you've seen one Liam Neeson film, you've seen all of his films because they're basically the same thing because he's into that whole like Taken. So if you've seen Taken, in other words, like every film since then with Liam Neeson, if it's an action thriller, has been taken, reimagined.
Did you find the end rushed? I found the end rushed. So the beginning like happened and then I just felt like things just progressed very quickly.
I must say though,
dead, serial killer, they got the person, the end, everyone goes home, everyone
I
wins.
did enjoy how they ended the film.
Oh yes, with the clue in that.
So yes, where like that part, and how, spoiler alert, how they gave him an alibi when he says to
yeah.
the chick, "Did you just give me an alibi?" Like that was
Yeah.
brilliant. I didn't see that coming. So like the ending of the film, I was like, so the way they ended, you know
Yeah.
how like if a film's bad but the ending's good, you kind of like, oh no, it was good because it ended well, you know, like. But whereas like when a film's like starts off well and then ends badly, you're just like, it sucked
Yeah.
because that was your last taste of the film.
But don't you find it quite weird though? Because I mean, it's a serial killer trying to find justice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Serial killer.
You know how I
Justice.
saw it? It was, so you have the
I was just
FBI, which is the
Oi,
law.
oi, oi.
But now the problem with the law is, number one, there's corruption. So often justice doesn't happen because the people that they report to
That's
themselves,
supposed to bring justice.
they don't.
is corrupt.
Which is exactly what you saw with like the lawyer that they went to. He wasn't prepared to do the case, all of that. Then you have the people who are upright in society but actually are doing backhanded things. So for example, that chick, her son, I mean, they basically, in essence, they were prostituting young girls. That's literally what they were doing. So obviously from that perspective, like they're actually the evil people. And then you have someone like Liam Neeson, who is almost like the Robin Hood of the situation. So he's going
What do they
against
call them?
a vigilante.
Yes, that one. Yes, I couldn't.
So he's going against the law because he's killing people, but he's doing it for
breaking the law.
Although technically he wasn't. Technically because he was an assassin. He was a hired assassin. So you could hire him and he'd kill whoever just because you're paying him. But then as soon as they wanted him to kill the little girl, that's when his conscience kicked in and he was like, I don't hurt children.
Yeah.
So technically he wasn't Robin Hood. He only, when he saw the little girl, he was like, no. And then he had Alzheimer's and then, he wanted to redeem. Yeah. So, but shockingly enough, Liam Neeson, I think what's impressive is he is like 70 years old.
Yep.
And yet he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I thought his acting was very good.
I mean, yeah, like he does a lot of action, stuff.
But then with this one, there was the difference where you could see I think he portrayed the Alzheimer's very well. Like that.
He did.
Yeah.
There was a lot like the stuttering, the acting was exceptionally very
His
well.
acting was very good, yeah. And I know listening to interviews with him, one of the interviewers said, like, how did you prepare for the role with the Alzheimer's? And he said he watched a couple of actually very disturbing documentaries on the disease, but he apparently also has a friend in Ireland who has dementia, and so he almost was able to personalize portraying the Alzheimer's from that perspective because he knows someone personally with dementia.
Oh, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson, William John Neeson. That's
his full name.
That's his full name.
William John.
There's not even Liam in there. It's just
Liam.
It's just William.
No, William.
Oh, is that what they do?
It's a nickname.
In that case, William. William. Just
I did not know that though.
the first time that I saw Liam, I was going to say William. Liam was the Phantom Menace in Star Wars.
Oh, so you watched him? Yeah,
absolutely.
That's okay. People forget. I forgot. Liam Neeson was in Star Wars.
Have you seen him in that? He had long
hair, the long grey hair.
So this is for all the Star Wars fans. This is Obi-Wan Kenobi's master. He played as what? Qui-Gon Jinn.
Is that his name?
Yes.
Is that his name in Star Wars?
That is Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan is famous because this is now we go to the master of. Then of course Taken, Schindler's List. He was in Schindler's List.
Yeah, he was in Schindler's List.
He's
in a lot of romance films as well.
I saw some of them. I was like, I'm not that one. Right, Backlight, which is apparently also 2022.
But apparently that film.
In.
Okay, I haven't watched it. Apparently that wasn't a good film.
Really?
So the review I watched, the guy said this was better than Backlight.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know.
So that's the Ice Road, which. Was it the Ice Road that we did?
We did Cold Pursuit. Cold Pursuit was actually good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there was also The Marksman and Honest Thief. Doesn't it ring a bell, that film?
Honest Thief does ring a bell.
It does ring a bell, right? And then he was also in Batman Begins in 2005.
He was!
Yeah.
Didn't
Pretty
he also
crazy,
come back in... He wasn't just in the first one, didn't he? Or did he die in the first? He died in the first one, eh?
And guess what?
He was the antagonist.
The Expendables 4.
Oh, wow. Serious. He's in.
Yeah.
That's coming out this year.
Coming up is,
Look, that
Expendables
makes
4.
sense. Liam Neeson should be in an Expendables film.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the director of the film, this is also quite interesting. So you have Liam Neeson, who is like the action junkie. Yeah. And then the director of this film is a man named Martin Campbell. Now, I personally didn't know him, but he directed Casino Royale, so James Bond, the first James Bond with Daniel Craig. He also directed both Zorro films with Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
So both of those. He then also directed another film with Mel Gibson called Edge of Darkness. And then he also did Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds. That film obviously was a flop though, but I don't think, yeah. So
Yes.
he is quite a well-known action film director. So he directed this film. And then I also enjoyed Guy Pearce.
I was going to say.
Now, I know that where
I didn't recognize him.
I know, I did recognize
Yes,
him. But
no.
do you know the only reason why I recognized him was I know him from, Iron Man. I think it was Iron Man 3. He was the
2013.
villain.
Yeah.
And his face, I always know him as, for me, his face just stands out. So,
He was in the King's Speech as well.
who was he in the King's
He was
Speech?
apparently the Duke of Windsor.
I need to go watch the King's Speech again.
I don't know he was in there either.
Yeah. That's very cool though.
Thanks, Wikipedia.
Yeah. But now I watched a review and this is what the person said. And I actually think I kind of agree with him. So he was speaking about the acting in the film and he said Liam Neeson's performance is brilliant. He can't hate on Liam Neeson's performance. He said Guy Pearce's performance was also very good, which I thought it was. I think he did his role very well. But he said everyone that surrounded Guy Pearce, so the chick, the Mexican FBI agent, all of those, he said they played very bad stereotypical cops. And he said from that perspective, he didn't enjoy the acting. And he said at some points, he even felt like, I just want to get the actor's name. He played Hugo Marquez, who was the Mexican FBI agent, he was basically he had to work. What's the word? He was kicked off the case and then continued working on the case without the knowledge of obviously the superior. But there was often times where it looked like his voice was being dubbed, which I actually thought that in the film. I don't know if you ever, if ever in the film you were watching it and he spoke, it looked like he was being dubbed.
Can't say that I did.
Didn't you pick that up? I personally was like, when he said that, I was like, oh yeah. There were times I was like, is this guy? What? So I don't know what happened with him. I don't know what happened with him. But Liam Neeson's performance was very good and Guy Pearce was very good. If those two weren't in the film, I don't think the acting would have been very good actually.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, yeah.
I enjoyed Guy Pearce as well.
I wonder if they had gotten other actors, would it have made a difference? It probably would have made a difference. And then the other weird thing is, so aside from Harold Marcus, who plays Hugo Torres, which is the Mexican guy, and Guy Pearce, all the other main characters are are European, so they're not American, and they're mainly from the UK. So there was no American-born actor appears in the movie, other than those two, Guy Pearce and Hugo. Harold, I don't know if his name's Harold or Hugo, but the Mexican guy. But that's weird because the whole thing's set in El Paso, Texas,
and there was Spanish involved.
Yeah, so it's a very American movie.
I wonder what's more difficult, a different accent or a different language? Or a different language in a different accent.
Personally, I think it's the language because with the language comes the accent.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
You have to let it be said that way.
Because there's been many times, so we're South African, you watch a film. I remember there was Safe House with Denzel Washington and Ryan Reynolds. I mean, two big Hollywood actors. And at one point, Ryan Reynolds was speaking Afrikaans, which is native to South Africa. And at first, we didn't know what he was saying. As in, we didn't know then we were like, oh, wait, is he trying to speak Afrikaans? At first, it was just
seen that.
what? Yeah. So,
really?
Yeah. He was like shouting. I don't know what he was shouting. He was shouting something in Afrikaans, but he was doing it in an American accent, and it didn't sound like, I don't know what it sounded like.
Yeah.
And then the subtitles came up, and we were like, what? And then we clicked, oh wait, he's actually shouting that in Afrikaans. So I think that's why language can be more difficult, because you need the accent as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that, like especially the previous film that we looked at, Black Panther, they pull off the accent like exceptionally very well.
Look, personally, in this film, I think they pulled.
No, they did.
Yeah, like
the Mexican actors felt Mexican.
Yeah, like I didn't personally feel like they were. Yeah, I was shocked when I read that fact.
Yeah.
So, and then Liam Neeson. I googled how many films he's actually been in, and the answer was at least 116 films.
Yeah,
that's insane. Imagine, like, he really has.
This guy, I was looking, he does at least like 2 films a year.
Liam Neeson,
yeah.
Which is amazing, because he really, I mean, he's 70. Most people are retired at that age.
That's what I'm saying. And they still give him a gun.
And he's still doing like action.
We still need you to kick this guy down. Can you roll down those stairs? Can you...
Obviously, like he was speaking about, he has a stunt coordinator who he's worked with apparently like something like 20 to 25 films on. But he said, obviously now the choreography is... They take into account that he is a 70-year-old. So they don't have him doing like crazy things that... First of all, wouldn't make sense, but second of all, would kill him. But he did say he received a script for a film with Jackie Chan. But apparently what they wanted him to do was this major action film that he ended up turning down. But he said the one action sequence was these two characters, so him and Jackie Chan, they wanted them to have a fight on a moving fire truck. Or 2 fire trucks, or I think it was a moving fire truck, and you know they have those long ladders. The ladder would basically be out, and while this truck is driving, there was this major fight sequence between Liam Neeson and Jackie Chan, and Liam Neeson turned it down because he's like, I'm 70. That's something for a 25-year-old. And 25-year-old athlete can do that.
But that is true, though.
Yeah.
That is quite hectic.
Yeah. Yeah, shame. But I also respect him, for being like, Like, he's not trying, how some people try and stay young. They like can't come to terms with the fact that they're 70. Yeah. Like, that's not Liam Neeson. Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Although Tom Cruise does look good for his age.
And he's doing well.
Yeah.
Jumping off
mountains. Off a motorbike, doing it 6 times.
On upside down.
Yeah.
On his arms.
Where do you think they filmed this film? So, okay, it was set in El Paso, Texas, and apparently all of the skyline shots were it's the actual El Paso skyline.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But where do you think, where did filming happen for this film?
Universal Studios.
Nope. Bulgaria.
What do you mean? Like they found a town there?
They filmed in Bulgaria. So it's set in El Paso, Texas, but they filmed it in Bulgaria.
But why?
Probably like it's cheaper. I don't know. I was also like, why? But they often don't film in like the actual place.
Okay. No wonder why it didn't feel like Texas. Because it didn't feel like Texas. Cool.
I just thought maybe, because it's El Paso.
Do you think it's true that if you live in Texas and you can't speak or understand Spanish, it's quite odd? I mean, I can understand that probably, it's close to the Mexican border, I think. Is it? There's the map.
I know someone, who was it? Who was saying this? Someone said that I don't know who I was speaking to, but they said, no, I don't know, I can't remember. Sorry, whoever you are. They said the best tacos they've ever had was in Texas.
Oh, is it?
And it's because of the amount of Mexicans that live there.
Okay, so it is. Then it must be.
But Spanish. They said they've never had anywhere in the world that literally
tacos.
Yes, the best.
Isn't that like it's equivalent to our boerewors rolls?
No, I think it's much nicer.
No. I'm talking about the we'll have a boerewors roll.
Okay, yeah.
We'll have a bra. We'll have a boerewors. Over there, I hear often it's like, hey, gonna grab a taco with me. Yeah, cool. Let's tacos.
Taco Tuesday.
Right?
They even named a whole day of the week, so it's more than that because we don't have food with days.
Have you had a tacos?
Yeah, I love them.
What is it? A tacos or taco?
Taco.
Is it a taco?
A taco. Yeah, or there's different ways. I suppose there's the Mexican way to pronounce it, and then there's the everywhere else.
Taco.
a taco, which is so wrong.
So you haven't had one before?
No, I have. I love
You
them.
have had one?
Yes.
What is it?
It's like, how do you explain it? So you can put different things inside of it. So like the restaurant that
Is it
I
a type
like
of
having,
bread?
it's more so like a wrap, not a,
like a wrap.
almost a tortilla,
Yeah.
but a smaller and
Yeah.
they literally are called like taco shells.
Yes.
So it's in a taco shell,
Uh-huh.
and then you can put whatever you want. So I've had one that's got chicken in it. There's others they've put fish in. So you basically like a wrap. You know how you can
I was
fill a
gonna
wrap
say,
with.
how
Yeah.
close to a wrap is it?
It's close, but it's smaller, and the it's not a wrap's quite soft. A taco isn't really
It's
that.
a bit
It
more,
stays.
but more crispy or harder.
Ryan, you haven't had one.
I don't think so.
You need to have one.
Right now, my office like.
Have you had nachos?
dare you? Yeah, I've had, of course,
Okay.
nachos. Yeah.
Nachos.
Is it that type of?
Yeah,
sandwich?
similar.
Oh, so it's
yeah. Not as hard as that. No. Yeah.
Okay.
How did we get? Oh,
Oh,
that
there you
we
go.
were talking about Mexico. Yeah, but so for me, the film, it did end
I just felt I felt like the end was just right. It was like obviously the story, there was just whatever, it was just
they could have done more. They had a very good concept. Sometimes I feel like when they've got a brilliant concept for a film, it falls flat because they're like, no, we got a brilliant concept, and then the movie's not that good when it could have been good because the concept was brilliant,
Eish.
but they didn't do what they didn't live up to the But I would recommend you
still
watch
entertaining.
it. Yes, still entertaining,
Enjoyed
and
it?
I think it's very true. The whole lack of justice. I think it's a very realistic worldview of the current world that we live in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Enough to send a serial killer on a justice chase. I'd say goose chase, but
Justice Goose Case.
yes, that one.
that is a tongue twister.
That one right
Justice Goose Chase. Now
Yeah.
say it fast and
Yeah.
try not to say juice.
there. And make it sound natural. In Mexican.
Oh! Anyway, so this has been the movie show.
Until next week.
Peace.
Cheers.